Welcome to episode 91 of EDH Commander Challenge. I'm your host, BT. Don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video because today our latest EDHCC Giveaway Winner will be revealed. But first, on behalf of all of our members, I am proud to announce that we have gained our first Patreon pledge hammer. And he is one of our longtime family members and supporters. His name is Wesley Wren. Wesley, thank you so much, and it's really an honor. That message you sent us along with the pledge was one of the kindest things I have ever read in my entire life, and it means a lot. So because of that, a couple things we'd like to know from you is first, some generals you want to see played on the channel, and secondly, I've left my email address for you as well as our EDHCC Giveaway Winner. So if you would like to send us your address information, we would be honored to send you something that you should probably receive between now and the end of next month, being May. Just a small token of our appreciation for your support. Thank you so much once again, Wesley. And for those of you who aren't already aware, 2 weeks ago we started our BT Game Night Patreon page. So if you guys want to further support the channel more than you've already done, consider becoming a patron. There'll be a link in the description below and at the end of the video letting you know how you can become a Patreon pledge hammer. It will give you access to special bonuses, and as you know, it's a great help to us as well. So without any further ado, let's get to those opening hands. First we have Jimmy playing his mono green Land Excel Sasaya Orochi Ascendant deck. Keeps an opening hand with Dryad Greenseeker, Gate Creeper Vine, Skull Clamp, Opal Palace, and 3 forests. I'm playing my Zombie Apocalypse Ghoulcaller Gisa deck. My opening hand consists of Ashes to Ashes, Crypt Breaker, Carrion Feeder, Torment of Hailfire, and 3 swamps. I won the dice roll, so I'll be starting us off. Let's go! I play a swamp and cast Crypt Breaker and pass. Jimmy plays a forest and casts Skull Clamp and passes. I play a swamp and pass. Jimmy plays an Opal Palace and casts Gate Creeper Vine. This lets him add a forest from his deck to his hand, and he passes. During his end step, I discard a card to Crypt Breaker and make a 2/2 zombie token. I play a swamp and cast Carrion Feeder and pass. Jimmy plays a forest and casts Dryad Greenseeker. Then he equips his clamp to his vine and passes. During his end step, I use Crypt Breaker's second effect and tap 3 zombies I control to draw a card and lose a life. For my turn, I cast Ashes to Ashes, taking 5 damage and exiling both of Jimmy's creatures. I could attack here, but I want to draw more cards instead, so I pass. Jimmy plays a forest and casts Thran Dynamo, passing. During his end step, I indeed use Crypt Breaker's effect to draw one and lose one. During my turn, I use Crypt Breaker's effect again and take 1 damage and draw another card, as I'm pretty much starved for lands at the moment. I then cast Jet Medallion and pass. Jimmy plays Reliquary Tower and casts Ant Queen and passes. I cast Liliana of the Dark Realms and use her +1 ability to add a swamp from my deck to my hand. I then play said land for the turn and pass. During my end step, Jimmy makes a 1/1 insect token with his Ant Queen. Jimmy starts his turn by clamping his insect, killing it to draw 2 cards. He then casts Green Sun Zenith for 6 and gets a sexy foil Seedborn Muse into play. Then he passes. During his end step, I use Crypt Breaker again to draw a card and lose a life. Jimmy gets a free untap phase during my turn thanks to his Seedborn Muse's effect. I then cast Dark Petition, which allows me to tutor a card from my deck to my hand. I also gain the 3 black mana from the Spell Mastery portion, as I have 2 sorceries in my graveyard, being Torment of Hailfire that I discard to Crypt Breaker and the Ashes to Ashes I played earlier. I search out and play a beautiful shiny Cabal Coffers and use it with 2 of the 3 mana I gained from the Spell Mastery to give me an additional 4 mana, bringing my total to 5. I then use 3 of the mana to cast another tutor in the form of Diabolic Tutor to tutor another card to my hand. I'll give you one guess as to what that is. It goes with Cabal Coffers. I also save time by upticking my Liliana to grab a swamp as well. And finally, I use my last 2 mana to Crypt Breaker, discarding a card to it to make another 2/2 zombie token and pass. During my end step, Jimmy makes 3 more insect tokens with his Ant Queen. Jimmy starts his turn by clamping away 2 more insects to draw 4 more cards. Then casts Worn Power Stone, followed by Jade Mage. Then he clamps away his last insect token to draw 2 more cards before passing. Man, he's so lucky to have that Reliquary Tower in play. For my turn, Jimmy gets to untap again with Seedborn Muse. I play Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth as my land for turn, and cast Living Death. Jimmy has no responses to it, but I respond to its resolution by tapping 3 zombies to Crypt Breaker to draw a card and lose a life. Then I discard to Crypt Breaker's second effect to make a zombie token. And then I sacrifice everything to my Carrion Feeder. and then carry on feeder to itself. Then Living Dead resolves, and I get all of my creatures back except my tokens, along with some new ones like Grave Titan, which gives me 2 zombie tokens, and Soulless One, whose power and toughness is equal to the number of zombies I have in play, and Graveyard. I then uptick Liliana yet again to grab another swamp from my deck to my hand. And finally, I cast Undead War Chief before passing the turn. For Jimmy's turn, he casts Groundskeeper and clamps it away to draw even more cards. Then he pays 8 mana total to cast Hooded Hydra with 5 +1/+1 counters on it, and equips it with his Skull Clamp before passing the turn. For my turn, I use Liliana's -6 ultimate effect, gaining an emblem that basically quadruples my mana. I then play a swamp for the turn, and cast my general, the lovely Ghoulcaller Gisa. Followed by Vengeful Dead, and Liliana's Reaver. I then tap 3 zombies to Crypt Breaker to lose a life and draw a card. Then I cast Josuve's Lich Knight, with Kicker of course, which gives me access to 8 Zombie Knight tokens with Menace. The zombie apocalypse is strong with this one. I then tap 6 of those zombies immediately to use with Crypt Breaker to draw 2 cards and lose 2 more life. Then I cast Night's Whisper to draw 2 more and lose 2 more yet again. Jimmy meanwhile says that at this rate that I'll die before he even gets to attack me, and tells me to, quote, keep up the good work. Ah, Jimmy. Ha ha ha. This guy. I then cast a Nivenril's Disc. And finally, Underworld Connection on a swamp. Knowing that I could do some damage to Jimmy here by attacking, I do realize that by the Skull Clamp being there, he intends to probably use the tokens he would get from it to draw even more cards. So instead, I advise him that with the power I have, next turn I should be able to attack him and finish him off with my zombie army. And simply pass. For Jimmy's turn, he casts Journeyer's Kite and uses it right away to add a forest to his hand. Then he casts his general, Sasaya Orochi's Ascendant. Jimmy wastes no time to use its effect to reveal his hand. And within it, he reveals he has 7 lands, which instantly flips his general into Sasaya's Essence. What does that do? Well, it basically grants each of his forests Rathalos Llanowar Emissary's broken ability, where his forest grants him 1 mana for each other copy in play. Jimmy then plays a forest and states that I'm apparently, quote, lucky. I asked him why, because I didn't really get it, and he explained that at that moment he had access to 9 mana. But if he had 13 mana in play on this turn, he'd be able to win the game. I was a bit confused, and I just straight out asked him, how is that possible? And he explained the following. He would pay 6 to cast Kamal, Fist of Krosa, then 3 to cast Umbral Mantle. He would then pay 1 mana to animate a forest, equip it with the mantle for free, and then pay 3 mana to untap it with the mantle. Which then he would tap the forest again for 4 mana and untap it with 3 from the mantle, giving him essentially infinite mana. To which he would then be able to untap all of his lands, animate them with Kamal, and grant him trample and infinite boosts on all of them to bust through my zombie apocalypse. He instead simply casts Acidic Slime and destroys my disc before passing. For my turn, I move into combat and attack with a lethal amount of creatures, ending the game as Jimmy is consumed by the Walking Dead. For Jimmy, his MVP was Skullclamp. While I agree that Reliquary Tower could also take this spot since the deck doesn't really work well without cards like it, Skullclamp gave Jimmy a lot of resources without decreasing the hand size he needed to transform Sasaya immediately when she came into play. And if he only had 1 more forest in play, he would have won the game with ease. As for myself, likely Crypt Breaker. I drew quite a bit of extra cards thanks to it, and being able to make zombie tokens ensured that I always had a solid defense to deter Jimmy from attacking me. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments below. And now, it's time to reveal the winner of our latest EDHCC giveaway. And the winner is... Matthew Swinburne. Congratulations, Matthew. My email will be in the description down below, so send me your address information so I can send you your prize. One more time, guys, thank you so much for entering our latest EDHCC giveaway. We're going to keep on doing these. Probably the next one will take place somewhere around the end of summer, I'd like to say, depending upon how things go. We'll have to wait and see. And the reason why we keep doing these, because like I always say, it's an honor and a privilege for us to be able to give back to you guys, the MTG community, and especially those of you who support our channel here, whether you're a viewer, a subscriber, a family member, a patron pledge hammer, a Twitter follower, or if you ever just dropped a very kind word or two in the comments, we are forever grateful, and this is our way of saying that to you all. So thank you once again, and congratulations to Matthew Swinburne, our latest EDHCC giveaway winner. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're a fan of EDH gameplay and you like whether it be 1v1 or multiplayer and you want to be part of the ever-growing Commander Challenge family, just make sure you smash the subscribe button and notification bell down below. We do weekly videos. Don't forget as well to like, comment, share our videos, but most importantly, enjoy them. On behalf of all of our members here, I'm your host, BT. Feel free to check out all of the videos in the channel, join our game, it's now your turn. Cheers!